Hello all, welcome to another session in JavaScript Made Easy course. As part of this session, I'm going to cover how to download and install Visual Studio Code Editor. Visual Studio Code Editor is the editor that we are going to choose for writing the JavaScript code and running the JavaScript code. So let's begin with this session. So here we have some notes. I'll open this notes. Very simple notes, guys. There's nothing in this notes actually, except that URL where we have to go and download the Visual Studio Code. Okay, here are the notes. Download and install Visual Studio Code Editor. This is the editor that we are going to use for writing the JavaScript code in the coming sessions. Okay, that's the reason we are downloading and installing this editor. Fine. Here is the official website of Visual Studio Code, code.visualstudio.com. Just click on this link. Open the link. Once you go to this particular link or page of the Visual Studio Code. Just click on this download for Windows. If you are in Mac machine or something, you don't have to download exe file. Here, if I click on download for Windows, exe file will be downloaded. But if I have to download this in Mac, some DMG file will get downloaded. If I go and download this on Linux, some DEV kind of files will get downloaded. Okay. Since I am in Windows machine, I'll just click on download for Windows. And here in a while, you will see that the exe file, okay, exe file for, you know, exe file for Windows machine will get downloaded for the Visual Studio Code, okay? Visual Studio Code exe file will get downloaded. Fine. Okay, so while it gets downloaded, let's go through this. So what I'm going to do in this session, I went to this website, I clicked on the download button for Windows and the exe file for Visual Studio Code software is getting downloaded. That is the editor's software is getting downloaded in exe format because it is Windows machine. After that, we are going to install the Visual Studio Code. Once it gets downloaded, I'm going to double click on this exe file and using the installation wizard by just clicking next and all the stuff, I'm going to install Visual Studio Code editor. Once that is done, I'm going to show you how to launch Visual Studio Code in the Windows machine here. So almost there, few more seconds for it to get downloaded here. Once the download is completed, I'm going to show you how to start installing it. Okay, how to install it. Yeah, done, completed. Let's go to the location where it got downloaded. In the downloads folder of the machine, it got downloaded and this is the exe file. Double click on the exe file. Since it is Windows machine, we got the exe file. And here we got the installation wizard. I'll select I accept the agreement. Click on next, next, install. That's it. Simple. Okay, let's wait for the installation also to be completed. Once the installation is done, I'm going to show you how to launch Visual Studio Code for the first time. So in the previous session, I covered how to download and install Node.js, right? To run the JavaScript code outside the browser, we need this Node.js as I explained in the previous session. Now in this session, we need an editor to write the JavaScript code. The software is not enough, right? For JavaScript code. So we need a proper editor, advanced editor like Visual Studio Code, where we can write our JavaScript code, okay? And write and run the JavaScript code. We need an advanced editor. I have chosen Visual Studio Code. Most of the people will use Visual Studio Code editor for JavaScript code. So the installation came to an end, guys, okay? Here, if I select this option and click on finish, it will launch the Visual Studio Code for me. Okay, just click on finish. It will launch the Visual Studio Code editor for me. You see, for the first time, you will see the welcome screen here. Nothing is there. So this is how the Visual Studio Code will launch for you for the first time. I'll close this and I'll show you how to launch from the second time onwards. Okay. During installation, it has automatically launched. If you want to launch the Visual Studio Code from the second time, what you have to do? You have to go to this Windows search and type Visual Studio Code. And in the best match, you got the Visual Studio Code. Select that. It will launch. Okay. As if it has launched for first time, it also has launched for second time like this. So in this session, I showed you how to download and install Visual Studio Code editor, where we are going to use this advanced editor for writing the JavaScript code and running the JavaScript code. Okay. So that's all for this session. So in the next session, I'm going to cover another topic that is required for us to learn JavaScript programming language. Okay. So that's all for this session. See you in the next session. Thank you. Bye bye.